Hello, and welcome back to another video. You had the questions, I have the answer. In this video, we're gonna go over some of the most popular Q&As we've been getting recently, and happy to put it all into one video just for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Preston, professional recruiter. I've been doing so for almost a decade, running and scaling my own agency. If you're looking for your next dream job, you're looking to hire on your team, or you're looking to get into recruiting, feel free to hit me up, description box, links below. But let's get into this. This is gonna be a fun video, and I'm excited to answer these questions for you all. So first question is, how much does it cost to run a recruitment agency? Here's the thing, you can run it in a very lean fashion, or you can just take it as far as you want. The cool thing about recruitment businesses, right, on the full-time direct placement side, is that it's one of those businesses where it's extremely high profit margins, cash flow generating service businesses, right? Where you do not need to have a lot of software and tools and overhead burning every single month. Every time I get these questions, my answer really is, it depends, because you can be super lean, which I don't really recommend, but it's possible. And the reason why I can say that is because that's what I did. So if you're new or you just started watching recently, go back to some of my old videos. When I started working for myself as a solo recruiter, when I first started my agency career working for myself, the first 5 or so years was by myself, no employees, but most importantly, I didn't even have an ATS, I didn't have a CRM, I didn't use automations, no AI, none of that stuff. In fact, I just spent my money on basically Gmail, which is like $4, $5, $6 a month. I don't remember what it was in 2014, but not that much more expensive than what it is now. I've used Google Docs and Google Sheets really as my go-to tools, my ad hoc, scrappy ATS CRM with extremely limited functionality, right? And in terms of like the candidate side, really the only thing I paid for was LinkedIn, not Pro, but LinkedIn Lite at the time, which is I think like $150, $160. And I didn't have any plugins, no additional email automations, not messaging, none of that. And so I was super scrappy and I kept it super low, but guess what? We're still able to make how much? $500,000 on my own desk my first year, also did it my second year, third, fourth, minimum fifth years, and every single year from 2015 to present day, whether the market's going up, down, sideways, I was able to perform. Why? Because we mastered the fundamentals of recruiting. If you don't know the fundamentals and you don't know the basics of recruiting, it's just a waste of money, in my opinion.
Are you struggling with getting responses from clients? Are you an established recruiter who is struggling to break 6 figures and beyond? Are you looking to start recruiting part-time and you don't know how? Do you feel burned out and stuck spending hours and hours each day in manual tasks like sourcing and outreaching and feeling like you have no time to actually run and grow your business? I am absolutely happy to announce that we have launched our own recruitment, educational, and coaching program to help you on your journey. We made sure that everything I've learned in the past 10 years, the tips, the strategies that really helped me build multiple 7 figures of placements on my own desk with some of the best companies in the world will be included in there. We'll also be including things like how you can build an acquisition system that brings in clients every month to your agency hands-free, how you can maximize the probability of a positive close during negotiations, how you can automate and outsource your day-to-day operations so that you don't have to spend hours per day researching or sourcing, how you can figure out the new and modern way to scale your agency that minimizes risk and maximizes your upside potential. And we've also included much more. The best thing about this is not only will you be getting amazing content, but we will also handhold you and be with you every step of the way to make sure that you are held accountable and you crush your goals. We'll also share with you our own tech stack, tools, and plugins we actually use, plus everything else we know about automation and AI to help you save time, work smarter, and not be a slave to your business. The exciting news is that we've actually rolled this out to a select few people earlier this year, and I'm excited to see them well on the way to multiple 6 figures, with some breaking $30,000 to $50,000 per month already. So if you're interested to be a successful recruiter that can dominate in any market conditions, make sure you click on the link below to chat with another member of our team, and we're happy to chat with you to see if we can help you out. Make sure you jump on this really quickly. See you on the other side.
It doesn't matter essentially how much you're spending on tools. If you don't know the fundamentals and you don't know the basics of recruiting, it's just a waste of money, in my opinion. So when it comes to this question, you can be a recruiter super affordably. You can start your own agency or solo recruitment desk super affordably. But do I recommend it? No, but can you do it? Yes, again. Now, if you were to tell me, hey, I actually have a budget of like $100 $100 or a couple $100, that's really all you need to spend per month, right? I think there's no way you should be spending 500 plus per month. I think if you just really want to go out and buy every single tool, maybe you're looking at maybe 300 to 500 max. But I would say on average, most people will probably spend, I would say up to 200, maybe 300 per month. And that's with probably LinkedIn, that's with probably like other subscription tools, other plugins, other automations, other ATS, other CRMs. You can just go out to your heart's content. But I hope I'm being crystal clear is that if you are kind of wondering, oh my God, I don't have that much money. Is this a business that I can get started without capital? The answer quickly is yes. But with any business, guys, with any side hustle, it takes money to make money, right? If you want to start a restaurant or a franchise, you need like $100,000 minimum to even get started, just even to pay the fee. Not even, some of them go up to millions of dollars. And so if you can't do a couple $100 a month, or you have a couple to several $1,000s to get your business started, my humble opinion is to stay at your job, save, grow a nest egg, and then make that plunge, or be smart and work on the side, which we will talk about just in a bit. But you can start whether it's like $6 a month just to pay for Gmail, or maybe $160 a month to pay for LinkedIn, or you want to go to like $200 to $300 a month. It's really up to you. But all of that is really, again, up to you, because if you know the basics really well, fundamentally wise, you don't need to rely on any tools out there. But do they make your life easier? Yes. So I hope that question helps. The answer is it depends on your situation, your budget, and your goal. The second question is, how is the Recruiter School different from other courses? Well, one way to answer this is I don't really know how it compares to other courses, because I've never taken other recruitment courses. I don't even know a lot of the other recruiters out there. We just like to kind of focus on ourselves. We know our track record, we know our success, and we just focus on giving you all as much value as possible and being as transparent as possible. So without commenting on other people, I can share a couple things about us that I'm really proud about. So number one, what's really important is we practice what we preach, right? I think when you go into education, or when you're looking to find a mentor or coach, or you're looking to kind of make a transaction to get knowledge and wisdom to accelerate your success and timeline, I don't know about you, but if I were to pay money, and I've paid for courses before, one of the big criteria for me that was just a non-negotiable is I need to make sure I'm learning from someone who's operating, right? Because if they're not operating what they're teaching you or selling you, how do you know that their knowledge or value is relevant to today? Because if you don't know that, you have no idea to see if like the knowledge or what they're trying to sell you in the program is, it worked a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but you have no idea if 2024 moving onward will actually be relevant. You know the common saying, if you can't do, you teach? Well, it's kind of like that, right? I want to know from people who are still doing it, who are still killing it, who are still crushing it, not from someone who sold their business 5 years ago, not from someone who did well 5 years ago. This is why fundamentally, like, I will still always be a recruiter or own and operate my agency and be hands down, because this is a great way for me to continue to test to see what works in the market so that I can provide you or anyone who joins us at the recruiting school as much value as possible. This is a non-negotiable for us. We essentially created the recruiter school to create value, to really be a one-stop shop where this is literally all you need to know. And I'm just also sick and tired of people coming to me saying, hey, I paid money for X, Y, and Z. I haven't learned anything. I haven't really improved or leveled up. Like, this is epic product that we created based on my career and my life, and hope it helps. The people that want to come in, we are 1,000% confident we can help you. It's not for everybody. We want to work with people who are serious about working with us. Again, number one, we practice what we preach. It should just be relevant to anything, not just education. You want to learn from someone who actually did it, but who's also still doing it, because right now, technology and AI, everything is advancing so fast, right? And if you learned how to do recruiting 20 years ago, it's so different than what it is now. So you have to adapt or just learn from someone who's at the cutting edge of recruiting who can still produce. That's who I want to put my money on, and that's why I still am a hands-on recruiter with my team. We also teach you literally A to Z on how to become a recruiter, a successful solo recruiter, a successful side hustle, or someone who wants to start their own agency or hopes to start part-time and then go full in running their own agency, right? There should literally be no other reason for you to come to our recruiter school and go somewhere else. It's literally A to Z, and we create it from the perspective that someone with zero experience is coming in. We want to teach you everything from basic terminology, basic lingo, to how do you actually get the next foot in front of the other and execute now, okay? We offer a online course, but in addition to coaching, we don't want you just to learn it. We want you to actually do it and be with you every step of the way. So being an A to Z one-stop shop, we practice what we preach. We also have a lot of great nuggets in there, a lot of amazing coaches and top recruiters who are helping me here just to make it as epic as possible. possible. Not to mention, it is lifetime access for the course. So anytime we find another edge that helps us with the clients or cans, who's going to have access to it? The people in the program. You will always have lifetime access. You can always revert back and see what's been updated and evolved as it's dynamic, organic, it's constantly growing. Next question, is cold emailing, cold calling dead for clients? No, it's not. I think for some industries and for some markets, it is more effective than others, but it's not about, is it dead? These are and will remain a very pivotal tool in your arsenal to get new business, right? So it's not so much, are they dead? Because it's not. It's how are you using them? Are you using them effectively, right? People think it's sending emails as easy as just sending emails, but a lot goes into it. A lot goes into like understanding the psyche of who you're reaching out to, understanding their pain point, understanding like what sort of solution or how are you providing value to the people you're reaching out to or calling into, and how are you actually constructing that into an effective narrative where people would actually want to respond back to you, right? It's an art. Cold outreach is an art, and there's so many ways for you to level up, and there's so many ways for you just to do things better than what you already know. And also, to add to that, what you don't know is what you don't know, right? And so you may think you may be good in cold emailing, but again, it may take you to talk to me or talk to someone else who's more experienced, like, oh my God, I just completely didn't focus on this part, this part, or this part. You just don't know what you don't know. But most importantly, if you're not successful, you don't have a profitable desk, there's probably a lot of ways we can help you improve and level up. I still know recruiters today where all they do is cold email and cold calling. For my own agency, we still use both as effective methods for client acquisition. Does it help to use other methods in conjunction to cold calling, cold emailing? Absolutely. Follow-ups are just as key. You can automate it, all that's good. But again, I was still able to get clients over and over and over again using emails and calling. You can still do it manually. It just takes up more time, but if you're on a budget, you can still do it. But don't just hide away from cold emailing, cold calling. These two are some of the most tried and tested methods and tools that you can use, not just for recruiting, but really for any business that's out there, right? So the most important thing is dial it in. Make sure that everything that you're doing, you can level up from personalizing to researching to crafting it to analyzing the length to contextualizing to industry markets. I mean, so much goes into it. And if you know how to dial it in, these can be very effective tools for you. Okay, next question. Can established recruiters benefit from the recruiter school? Absolutely. I get this question asked all the time. It's not just for people without any recruitment experience who want to become a recruiter and start their own agency. It's also for established recruiters to adapt and level up to the times. Again, times are changing really, really fast. And what you've done 5 years ago, 10 years ago may not necessarily work now. But my biggest litmus test is if you're an established recruiter, I just want to ask you, hey, how much are you billing? Simple as that. I don't really care if you've been recruiting for 6 months, 6 years, or 60 years. If you can't comfortably bill $100,000 or more on your desk, then there is something significantly wrong. In fact, that number is quite conservative. I would like to say that people who understand the fundamentals really well, who back it up with really great work ethic, there's no reason why you can't be making between $600,000 or $700,000 a year consistently on your desk without VAs or employees. Again, why? Because I did that myself. If you talk to people and you're like, hey, you need a VA, you need teams employees to make that kind of level of income, I strongly disagree because you don't. Recruiting could be one of those beautiful things where a placement on average could be like $18,000 to $30,000. For many people, all they want it to do is learn the fundamentals and just become an amazing solo recruiter without even worrying about VAs or employees or scaling their team. It's one of those beautiful businesses where can you imagine if you just do 10, 15 placements a year? That's almost $250,000 to $300,000 minimum a year with no employees, no drama. It's fantastic. It's a great life. A lot of people are like, you know what, Preston, that's a high paying job. I'm like, yes, that is, but let's just get there first. I think that's a good problem to have. Don't you agree? You know, you can think about getting your time back or automation stuff down the line, but wouldn't it be amazing to learn how to recruit properly, to make as much money as you want by yourself? And they'd be like, if I want to scale, it's by choice and it's by ambition and it's by goal, not because you have to. A lot of people who come into recruiting or businesses, they immediately think, I need to hire employees. That may be true for other businesses, but in recruiting, where fundamentally it's a sales business, it's so hard to be an effective leader or manager if you haven't done it yourself and if you haven't done it well. I just talked to a company in North America and they had about, I think like they had about like 30 people in the staffing, and they were kind of telling me when I asked them what their revenue was, they're like, oh, we're making like $3 million a year. And immediately that felt like really impressive. But when you think about it, that's only about $100,000 revenue per employee, which is not good. I think conservatively, they should be making at least maybe 150 to 2 on the super low end to maybe 300 or 400, right? So their revenue for a team of 30 should be closer to maybe, I would say not 3 million, probably closer to 5, 6 plus. So if you are a fully optimized small team, I think in my opinion is way better than a big sub-optimized large team, because you're just leaving so much money on the table and people are just not being efficient. But again, established recruiters, yes, you can totally find value from the recruiter school. You just don't know what you don't know. But again, if you can't consistently bill between 150 to 500, 150 to 600 on your desk, come and chat with us. Click on the button below and we'd love to kind of see exactly what's happening or what's not happening and how we can really help. The next question is, can you start your own recruitment agency on the side or part-time? My answer to this is absolutely. I think this is the right thing to do. A lot of people who I've been speaking to and a good handful of people who joined the recruiter school, shout out to you action takers, are actually having full-time jobs and they want to start a recruitment side hustle on the side, which is beautiful because it's one of those things where, again, if you do a handful of placements on top of your full-time job, that is a lot of cash going into your pocket. There are actually a couple people in the program and people that I personally helped who are making ungodly amount of cash, I think over 6 figures on top of their well-paying job. And they're like, you know what? I initially had aspirations to become and start my own thing, but now I don't need to because I have a full-time job, getting paid well. I don't really have to stress about it, great benefits. And now I'm getting paid minimum 6 figures on the side. He's like, life is good. I don't have to do anything else. So I really want to challenge people who are like, I really want to own a 5, 10, 20, big company. I'm like, that's great, but why do you really want to do that? Is it really an ego thing? And are you okay? And you understand that if you manage a bigger team and company, the more headaches and risk, obviously you'll get more reward, right? It's more fulfilling, but are you also okay to embrace the hard side and the risky side of a larger business? And when you think about it, and when you realize, wow, recruiting is one of those things where the profit margin is so big, being a solo recruiter is fine. Maybe doing this on top of a job is fine. If you want to continue and take the plunge, go all about it. But I'm actually a huge supporter for people who are, currently working and they're doing something on the side because they're really committing and being disciplined to create a new feature or a new set of skills to create a new feature to go on tangent to where they're currently going, right? They're taking action and they're believing in themselves to do something, and they're not being reckless on quitting their job and quitting everything and starting full time. They're being smart with their money, right? They're investing in their agency, they're investing in their future, they're learning, they're dipping their toes in slowly, to making sure they do it properly. Once they do a couple placements, they can reinvest that, and now they have a choice. Do I continue what I'm doing now, or do I leave and maybe do my business full time? The point is, they have now options where before they didn't in their life. So yes, you can absolutely start a solo freelance desk on the side. You totally should do that. That's the smart and least kind of stressful route that you should do. But again, if you're all about, hey, I want to go all in, start my own thing on the side, grab it by the horns and let's go, you could do that too. What are my thoughts overall on splits freelance platforms, right? And this is from someone who actually has a splits program with us and our team right now. So a splits and freelance platforms are fantastic tools, right? Especially if you're like a freelance recruiter, you want to do splits on the side. But again, where the distinction is made is that if you think or call yourself a business owner and you want to aspire to running your own agency and you completely depend on splits and freelance platforms, you do not have a business. You only have a true agency where you can go out there and you comfortably have ownership of A to Z of what it is to be a recruitment agency owner. You know exactly how to execute client acquisition, how to go out there and get your own business. You know how to go out there and get your own candidates and put it together over and over and over again. And you use these splits, you use these freelance platforms, not by necessity, but by choice so that you can continue to be busy, right? I think for people who are calling themselves business owners and entrepreneurs, but they depend on communities, they depend on splits, they depend on software without actually learning and having mastery of the fundamentals, you're not really learning how to use your wings. You're really depending on a branch. And if that branch snaps or falls, or these platforms one day decide to just poof, disappear, you're gonna fall back to the ground, square one, just regretting that you didn't take the time to learn the skills yourself. So again, recruiting is one of those things where it's extremely manual, but if you're organized, if you work fast, you can still be successful and you can still make a lot of money without these communities, automations, technologies, and blah, blah, blah. But all of these things should help secondarily. It shouldn't be a primary thing unless you're just happy being a freelancer and you don't want to do client acquisition and you're just happy doing placements at the mercy of these platforms. And another issue is that you're giving all the power to these platforms. When you learn how to become your own boss and your own agency, right? You learn how to properly find your own clients and then how to actually engage them, how to talk to them, how to make sure through efficient kickoff calls, intake calls, you're really setting your relationship off well. the problem with these platforms, it's really difficult for you to have a relationship with these clients, for you to be able to talk to them, meet them, for you to be able to change the rules or change the rules of engagement, because typically a lot of these platforms, they're the ones that make the rules of payment and engagement, etc. I think if you are in this for the long term and you have a business mind and you really want to embrace and work at this and grow it as a true business, then start your own agency properly, learn the fundamentals, and then utilize all these amazing tools and platforms out there as a secondary resource and support system for you and your personal goals and your personal business goals. That's my opinion. I hope you agree. I hope you disagree, but either way, we'd love to hear from your thoughts below. But I think when it comes to recruiting, it still remains a fantastic career and a fantastic opportunity for you to also be entrepreneurial and to take that bet on yourself, to take action and to take a step further to your financial goals, your monetary goals, whatever you want to do. And I hope a lot of these questions helped. But let's end it with one more question. So the last question is, why am I still recruiting? At the end of the day, recruiting is great, not just for the money, guys, but I really hope that you do this for the right reasons, to really build relationships and to really have like a strong desire to really want to help people. Like, we talk to people, we sell talent, and through that, it can become extremely fulfilling financially, don't get me wrong. But I think if you're just so driven on the finances and money, you completely overshadow and ignore the part that makes recruiting extremely fulfilling. And it's just, you really can lead with impact. You can have so much value. You can make amazing relationships, and getting those texts and emails and calls of people saying, I got my dream job. I moved my family to a new state and we love it because of you. Or my team and my company was able to do X amount more in sales or revenue because of your hire. Thank you so much, Preston. Thank you so much, recruiter. It just never gets old, right? It never gets old, whether you've been doing it for 1 year, 10 years, or 20 years. And so don't forget that part of recruiting. And if you can, embrace both of it. You obviously want to succeed financially and monetarily, but also don't forget, just from a artistic angle or just from a, a kind of a more humane, personal angle, like there's parts of recruiting where you just feel proud every single day or every week. And the highs, man, when you make a placement or when you get these emails, nothing can really compare to it. It's an absolutely amazing feeling. So it's still the reason why I'm hands-on with my own desk. And it's just so hard for me to give up that feeling where I created this myself. I created this successful place in myself. I created nothing from something, all from hard work and from just believing in myself. So guys, I hope that this helped. Have action. Most importantly, have belief in yourself. You can do it. If you want to take that plunge or you start something on the side, I want to continue to root for your success and to root for just all the glories and milestones that you crush. If you want to reach out and see how we can help you, whether it's the Splits community or the Recruiter School, happy to share with you what we do, how we can help, and would love to hear more about your experience. We've met some amazing people so far that came into the program, and I can't wait to see what sort of amazing success stories will come out of it 30, 60 days from now. And some of the people in there are complete rock stars, and they're just going to absolutely crush it. And we are doing whatever we can to make sure that they find tremendous success. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.